Hi, Mike, right here. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for office hours. It's Friday, uh, I started to say January, July 28th, and I'm here ready to talk to anybody that wants to talk. I had a few people in response to my emails this week indicated an interest, and I promoted this time and this link to several of them. And so we'll see what happens. But here's what I am going to do. However long this takes, if somebody joins us, then it takes the full hour. But if I get through making this introduction and we get to the end of the time frame and nobody else is logged on, doesn't matter. I'm going to take this recording and I'm going to pack it up and I'm going to send it out to everybody on my email list to show them, what they missed, or if somebody comes, the kind of interaction that we can have. Look, as I've said in the things that I've sent out this past week to stimulate response, uh, I do this because I feel it's valuable to the people that I'm speaking to. I'm speaking to small business owners, people that I presume are like those of you that may see this, certainly those of you that receive this, because I know that you are constantly have things that you put off doing because you're focusing on doing your business. You're focusing on providing social media support. You're focusing on interacting with your therapy clients. You're focusing on getting the remodel project done that you've been engaged to do. All of these things are the things that make your business a business. And all of these things are the things that have to be done in order for you to make a profit. But from time to time, you have to step aside from doing your business and start working on your business. And that requires some education. It requires some counsel. It requires the opportunity to talk with other people, because all of these things allow you to build up your own skills and your own capabilities in that part of your business which isn't actually doing your business. Employees, skilled employees, are important to a business because skilled employees are people that show up, they do what they're hired to do, and the business prospers because of their actions. Now, we could get into a discussion, and that's not my purpose here today. We could get into a discussion of how much they should be compensated. We could go down the path of talking about the discrepancy between the managers or the officers of a corporation and the people that work for the corporation. All of these things are important topics. But what I'm talking about here is the fact that an employee sells their skills, rents their skills to you as an owner in order for the work that your business does to get done. But what your employee does not do is engage to guide the business in the direction that the owner wants it to go. An employee does not have to worry about the balancing the checkbook. They don't have to worry about the budget. They don't have to worry about making sure that taxes are paid unless they happen to be the accounting or the payroll employee in your business. But you, as a business owner, have all of those things to worry about. Plus, you have to do what it is you do in your business. If you're a solopreneur, an individual person doing what you do, then every single thing that needs to be done is on your back. You have to be responsible for all of it. And these programs are intended to make the business part, the management part, the working on your business part of what you have to do easier for you. Easier because you can learn. When I share the experiences that I've had as a professional, when I share the experiences that I've had working with and talking to other businesses, or if you go so far as to engage me to actually do some of that support work for you. And even I'm going to do that. Some of the things I'm going to do myself, some of those things I'm going to hire others to do. So what I'm saying is that the intention of these programs is to be a partnership. It's intended to be something that we work together to benefit you. Of course, it's going to benefit me because it enhances my reputation. It puts my face out in front of more people. And even if you don't want to engage me today to do a particular job for you, there may be something that you want me to do down the road. So I'm happy to do these things. That's also why I've begun to set this up as a program that's paid for. Not a huge cost, but it's paid for in order to compensate me for the time that I have to take to put these things together. And so that's also the reason why starting this coming week, the programs are going to be just a little bit more organized, and they're also going to be set up in just a slightly different manner so that I can accommodate both those people that want to see what I do for free and those people who want to go in depth, who want to drill down, who want to pay the bucks to get some really good experience, teaching, training, whatever it is that you want to call it. But look, if nobody joins me today, and if nobody joins me over the next few weeks as we do as we do some weekly workshops, then I'm quite happy to lay it down and stop doing it. I can use the time for other things. I'm not trying to be snotty about it. I'm just saying like it is. If I'm not providing a value that anybody wants, then fine. It's not necessary for me to continue putting things out there that don't have a value for anybody. So here's what's going to happen with today's program. Like I said, I'm going to finish the recording. I'm going to fix it up so that it can go out. And later on this afternoon, I'm going to send it out as an email today. And I'm not if you watch this, I'm not intending to taunt you. I'm not saying see what you missed, because obviously you won't have missed much. But what I am doing is trying to engage your interest in this program to see if we can work together to get something that works well for you, that meets your requirements. Now, look, I've gotten several responses from the emails I sent earlier this week. Many of them are what you would expect. I mentioned a couple times. And so I got an equal number of responses that said, time 1 is good, time 2 is bad, who then turned around and then the other equal amount that said, oh, time 2 is good, time 1 is bad. That doesn't surprise me. The reason for having 2 times is that I would expect that there would be different audiences there. Those that think time 1 is good would join me for time 1, and those that think time 2 is good would join me for time 2. This is time 2, by the way, 10 a.m. on the last Friday of the month for office hours. The other thing I've learned from people is that I shouldn't use Zoom. I should use YouTube, or maybe I should use I shouldn't use my app because it's too hard for people to get into. I've had people tell me that they have difficulty making the transition from the app to or from the email to the app, and so I'm going to work on making that easier. But I have a reason for wanting to stay within my app. I alluded to it in my comments a couple days ago about the Social Layer chat program. I'm not paranoid, but I also know that things happen. If you've been watching the news recently, you know that X, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, has changed its name to X. And there's been a lot of negative reaction to that. It's something that the owner of the business wants to do. And so it's done. There's even a member of the X community who, when he was a member of the Twitter community, had a certain handle to use, and X took it away from him. They just said, no, you can't use it anymore. We want to use it for us, and it's ours, so we will. In fact, the interview I heard with Elon Musk, he almost used those very words in explaining why they were using the @X handle for themselves. Here's the point. It doesn't matter whether or not Elon Musk has the right to do that. It doesn't matter whether or not Google can cut off Donald Trump because they don't like what he said. That doesn't matter. The point is they can, and they have. Is that paranoid? It depends on where you're coming from. I suspect in Donald Trump's case, he may feel a little paranoia, but that may not be true of you. But I will say this, because I have access to this app through a group of people who I trust. Again, I will even make the proviso that I know that they might cut me off because they have the right to do that. But they're less likely to do that because we're like-minded in this regard. And that is, we want to be sure that the people that we know, that we like, that we trust, the people that are part of our community are the people that we're sharing information with, and that we may say something that's controversial in the wider world that's not controversial in this community. And why would we want the wider world to cut us off? I also mentioned this with regard in the social air piece with regard to advertising. The things that you see from my app, there's no advertising for. But on the other hand, this is part of the reason that I'm starting to charge for this service. It costs me money to maintain the app, not as much as if I owned the app outright, which is something I can do down the road, but I haven't done so yet. So these are things that are intended to make my life easier, to make me more comfortable with what I send out, and also so that I am not burdening you with anything outside just the time it takes you to take a look at what I have to say and react to it, because it's the reaction that's important to me, because I want to know if I'm helping you with what you need help with. So that's why I do this. And that's what we're going to do. And to refine it, I made the comment that next Tuesday's weekly workshop, which will still be at noon, and it will still be on Zoom, even if we change something down the road, as people have other things to say. But it will be there and it will be available. But I am going to make one change. I have been posting some of these programs on YouTube for free, not in my app, and I'm going to continue to do that starting Tuesday. But what it's going to do is there will be an introductory section, which will provide the core of what I'm going to be talking about, which will provide value there, but then we'll reach a point where I will stop posting it on YouTube, and you'll have to sign up for my app in order to be able to see the remainder of the information, the in-depth view, the details. Those of you that have ever done public speaking or have been taught to do public speaking have probably heard the old story that the basic outline of any speech is to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So what I'm going to start doing is structuring the weekly workshop presentations in this fashion. We're going to start by talking about what I'm going to talk about, and that's going to be the core information. Then I'm going to stop the program for the YouTube broadcast, and the remainder of the program will continue, but it will be available on the app. And so if you sign up for the app during the week that the program is free, you can utilize the program at your discretion. And then what will happen at the end of a week is that those people that are paying a subscription for the entire package are going to be able to retain the archive of that program. Furthermore, I'm going to start trying, and this is going to be the iffy part, start trying to index some of the stuff that we do on the weekly workshop so that I can identify specific topics and then periodically provide an index so that those that are subscribers will be able to go back and look at the index and zero in on topics that they want to know more about, or something that they say, Mike said so-and-so about something, but I don't remember what the so-and-so was, but I do remember what the something was. So they can use the index to look up the something and then get back and go through that thread. This is, to me, even more valuable than just being able to listen to hour-long dissertations. But it also requires more work. And so what I'm thinking about, I'm sharing my thoughts with you here. What I'm thinking about is perhaps that's a good reason to switch the frequency of the workshops and perhaps also make them just a bit more workshoppy, meaning provide opportunities for feedback, uh, perhaps provide a weekly or a periodic workbook or some different things like that. These are just things that I'm thinking about doing in order to make this more worthwhile. And I'm telling you about it today because I'm trying to give you an example of what an office hours would look like. Well, when we do this next topic on the weekly workshop next Tuesday, it's going to have some stuff about a specific topic. I'm going to present this information. If you see it on YouTube, you'll see the first part of it. And if you sign up for the app or get it through the app, you'll see the whole thing for a week. What'll happen later on is when the next office hours comes up, which will be on August the 8th, is it? Let me look. Hang on with me real quick. I'll look at my calendar here. Yes, August 8th is the first office hours of August. And I would expect when we do that office hours that there'll be some feedback on the things that I have to say during this weekly workshop. Of course, there will also have been another weekly workshop on the 8th itself in the morning. And so there would be discussion, I would hope, from that. But discussion only works if people show up. So that's why it's important that you understand that the programs that we're doing here are for consumption by you. They aren't because I want to sit in my chair and blither. Those of you that know me well and interact with me in face-to-face, you know that I can blither with the best of them. But I hope there are little gems in that blithering. And sometimes I hope I can zero in on a topic and really provide insight. People have told me in the past that I've been able to provide them an understanding of complicated topics that didn't make any sense to them before. And insofar as I can do that, that makes me very happy because that's exactly what I want to do is enlighten people. So I've kind of given you a preview of what an office hours would look like. Nobody has joined me yet. I've been doing this for 16 minutes, 18 minutes. And so I think if anybody was going to join me, they would have come on by now. When I get ready to shut this off here in 30 seconds or so, if you were just getting ready to log in, I apologize, but be on time next time. And the next time will be Tuesday at noon. Same link, mcw.biz/weekly, and we'll have the weekly workshop. This week we're going to be talking about I entered it with the idea about audits, but what we're looking about is the totality of your business. What does your total business look like? How do you present yourself totally? And then, like I said, on the 8th, there'll be another weekly workshop session, and then that night we'll have our first office hours for August. So that's going to do it for today. I hope some of you will come back and rejoin this video and listen to what I have to say and respond to me. Let me know what you think. That's what I'm after, is some response. I'm starting to get some response, but I'm trying to get more response so that I can really zero in on this. That's the choice. Either I'm going to stop it altogether, or I'm going to work with you and the others that are interested in this to put together a program that is worth your while. So I hope to see you soon. I hope you have a good weekend, and take care.